Alright, hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm just going to jump right into this because I feel like that this is going to take a while to explain it on my own terms, so I'm just going to go straight into it. So, as I've briefly covered before in my previous video, the one before that, the one that blew up on my channel, thank you, that I briefly went over keyframing and like animation and stuff like that and using Adobe, which I mostly do gaming videos, but this does apply to pretty much anybody using this, and I'll show a few examples here going on. So I'm going to start very, very basic, and then I'm going to go into more, complicated stuff. So just to get right into it, I'm going to start with how to keyframe and what, in general, what it means, how to use it, if that makes sense. You'll understand. So let's just go right into it. So first of all, you can see I have a bunch of stuff. We're not going to get into that yet. I'm just going to type in hello, and just drag it to the middle of the screen. And if you look right here in the top left, I'm in, so like if you're here or here, don't be there, go to effects and make sure you have what you want highlighted. And you're really focusing on this motion. So I'm going to close out of this. And right now you don't want opacity. I mean, you can use that because it's involved with what we're about to do, but we don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to worry about how to keyframe and like movement. So let's say I play it. And it's right there. Okay, so sorry for that cut, but let's say we just want to move this. So if you play it for now, nothing happens. And let's say halfway through you want to move it. So you just go up here, you can use motion, and say you move it to the right hand corner. Well, now it's just staying right there in the right hand corner, which is the whole point of keyframing. So let's go back, go to the very beginning, and let's say you want. Here, let's move this so we don't have to worry about that. And at 2 seconds, you want to move it to the top hand corner. So what you want to do is click this and go to the very beginning. And you want to press position, scale, and you can do rotation, but we're not going to do that yet. Yes. And I honestly don't even know what anchor point that does, but if you do, go for it. But let's say at 2 seconds you want it to move. So, oh, it's just saved. So go to 2 seconds, wait for it, and so you just press the little arrow keys and go back per frame. 2 seconds. You want it to start moving to the top hand corner. So you just either press motion and you can move it, or you can use these little scales and just drag, which is what I usually do. It's just how I learned. I taught myself how to do it. And bam. And it's slowly, but you want it to start at 2, right? So right here, by the way, this is your keyframe like timeline, just like the one down here, but it's only for keyframes. So and these little arrows, these take you to the last made keyframe. But you want it to start at 2. So let's go back to 2. So I'm going to drag this over so I can click it. So this is the point where this is where it's going to end up. But you don't want it to be there. You want to start. So move it back to the middle at 2 seconds. And now play it a little bit more. And then move it up there. And then it will start at 2 seconds, if that makes sense, So, it was out of place, but there you go. So that's the whole point of it, because the whole point, the way I can put this into my words is when you map something, when you click this and add a keyframe, that's where it is going to be on that screen at that second. But in between keyframes, so like right here, in between these two is when it moves. So at this keyframe, it's starting in the middle, and by the time it gets to this one, it's going to be in the top right. But if you want it to snap, so I'm going to go ahead, I've already messed with this a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that and make a new text box. Just say, hey, this time, we'll change it up a little bit. Let's move it. So, do that, and bam. If we move, if we move this right here, it's going to move from the beginning because we keyframed it at the beginning, because at the beginning it's going to start wherever you had it, right here. And let's go ahead and erase those. Just press those back in place. Say back, yeah. Press backspace. I can't talk. So let's say you just want it to snap. So at 2 seconds, we started early. So let's say 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds. Oh boy. How many frames are in it? Oh, it's 30 frames. Huh. Let's say 3 seconds and 0.2. let's press the keyframe, and you want to just snap to the corner. Press 1, maybe 2 or 3 if you want a little bit of like split-second animation. Doesn't really matter. And then move it. We'll go to the bottom left. Bam. So now it's just gonna go there. Like I said before, when you keyframe, that's where it is going to be at that second. And in between, it's gonna animate to where the destination is in between keyframes. It's gonna go to the next keyframe wherever you have it. And so, like I said, if you want it just snap all of a sudden without it just slowly dragging, press keyframe right before you want to move it. So let's just keep going on this. So let's say you want it to slide to the middle and then snap somewhere else. So we're going to keyframe it here, run it for a second. Now it's going to go to the middle. So bam. And then let's say as soon as you want it to hit the middle, you want it to snap. Right here. See how it moved right here? Because the blue is highlighted, so you can just slide it right here. And right on there. So this is the frame where it is set. So one frame later, and you can just slide it up. Once again, you can press motion if you want. You can just move it up here. And it's going to snap. And let's say you wanted to stay there for like a second, and then you want to just leave. You can just slide it right off the screen. And bam, now it's going to be a weird text box. See, it's really weird. But now I hope you guys understand a little bit of the keyframing. Just really remember that part of it's going to move in between, so you got to be cautious of that. And keyframing is wherever you mark it, that's where at that exact second of the video or, you know, whatever, that's where it's going to be. All right, so I got a weird little demonstration here, but I'm going to show you how to do like multiple animations at once and just more complicated animations with timing and just make it look good. So what I'm going to do is I have a bunch of YouTubers here, and I'm going to add sunglasses. And just for an example, if you did want to add like these sunglasses right here, it's really big, so you're going to have to scale that down. Let's say you did want to add something like that, you know, sunglasses, a picture, anything. Just go to Google and type in sunglasses. And if you don't want it to have like annoying white box all the way around it, make sure you type in PNG afterwards, which is an invisible background. And when you click it, see the white box, make sure that disappears and it saves as this. And when you click save as, make sure it says PNG right there. Going back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add sunglasses to everyone real quick. I have them all right here. So I'm going to fast forward that. Okay, so I know the video is kind of small, but it's kind of necessary for us to mess with so many files in one frame. So this is what I'm going to have right now. Everyone has sunglasses, but as you can tell, like a little bit right here and a little bit right here, it's not really matched up very well. So what you want to do is just kind of shrink it to their eye size. Oh, a little too much. And rotation goes a long way, and just simple 3D things. There, that looks really good. That worked better than I thought. And let's see, I think, make sure I find the right ones. I think it might be these. Yeah. So his is slightly tilted, but it would make it, see, that looks so much better. Now it's just 4 degrees to the right. Okay. Oh, PewDiePie's is really messed up too. Ooh, man, I gotta fix this up. Like I said, rotation goes a long way in making things look better. I'm not even gonna mess with hers because I'm going off topic. So the whole point of me doing this is I want them all to switch glasses. Now that's gonna be a little complicated because that means we have to keyframe everything. So let's say we want them all to be, we want all the glasses to leave and go to the next person at the same time for simple stakes. Let's just keyframe everything on every text box. Whoa, why'd I do that? Okay, keyframe, 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 keyframe. And let's say we'll just run it a few seconds. And now we want them all to switch. We're gonna go counterclockwise. So his needs to go up. needs to go left. His needs to go, and make sure you don't move like your little timeline, like where you are on the timeline, because then they won't be there at the same time. And as stupid as this looks, as you can tell, they're not the same. You know, PewDiePie's is all rotated, hers is really big and rotated, and it's just, you know, it doesn't look right. So on the same frame, don't go anywhere else. And if you do accidentally, let's say you accidentally click and you move it, go right here, and you can see in your keyframe timeline, this is the keyframe you just made. So you can just go there, or you can press the arrow to go to your last made keyframe, or the front arrow to go to your other one. Did I make one over here? No, I didn't. Okay, so now, as they're all on the same keyframe, I think, yes, we need to rotate and scale too. So, whose is this? Oh, whoa. That doesn't look bad. His needs to be a little bit bigger. There we go. Hers needs to be way smaller and not as rotated. Oh, I forgot to keyframe that. See, since I didn't press this little anchor point to start the toggle animation, now if I rotated it, look, it's gonna stay that rotation because I never toggled it. So now if you do want to fix it, toggle it and then go back to one. Oh, sorry, stay at the beginning and then fix it for him, because this is where it's gonna start. So it's gonna start like that and then go to this one, and then now you can fix it without it being permanently messed up. Did I already fix? Oh no, PewDiePie's is still messed up. I think his is fine, and then PewDiePie's. So, oh, which one is PewDiePie's? There we go. So now you want to, same thing, I didn't rotate it. So now we're gonna have to go to the beginning again and keyframe the rotation. This will happen a lot too. You will forget sometimes. There we go. And then toggle the rotation, and then go to this one, and then fix the rotation. When you first start toggling everything, it doesn't hurt to toggle rotation too, just because. So now, here's the example. See, if you look a little bit closer, which ones we can tell, we know his moves, we can tell the pink. Look at the pink, you can tell how it scales and rotates just slowly. Bam. And that's an example. That's how you do multiple at the same time. You just make sure you're all in the same line. We can do another example real quick. So let's say you wanted which one, whose is this? Okay, I know he has aviators, right? Okay, so we're at the beginning. Let's say we run a couple seconds and we want it to go off the screen. There we go. But now when we do that, it's gonna go back on the screen just even faster to catch up. So now what you want to do is, so this is the current keyframe right here where it's matched up on his eyes. Go like 2 or 3 before and just slide it off the screen. And now it's gonna pop off of his eyes like really quickly, and then right at the end he's just gonna pop up again. Bam. See, it's stupid, but you can change up the speed just by how many frames. If you have 10 seconds and at the beginning of the second it starts moving to somewhere else, it's gonna slowly move. But you have it in half a second, it's gonna go there as fast as possible. Okay, so for my last example, I have more of a realistic kind of animation, make it look good. So I have KSI Logan Paul. Let's go ahead and scale it down so it doesn't look awful. So we can make Logan Paul a little bit big, put him off the screen. And who's this? The punching glove. And KSI is huge. I don't want him to be huge. There we go. So let's rotate him a little bit. And let's say you want, let's shrink Logan Paul, or yeah, shrink him a little bit and then move him off the screen a little bit. There. Let's put him right here. And then let's move the boxing glove right here. So let's say you want him to punch KSI 3 times. He's just gonna go pop, pop, pop. It kind of goes, see how it goes behind him? We want it to kind of go in front of him. So let's put that above Logan Paul. So now the glove's going over, so we can stop right there and make it look like it's stopping at his nose. So let's keyframe everything. This is at the beginning, and let's say, I don't know how fast, 1 2 3 4 5, that's gonna be kind of like the wind up. 6 7, let's go about 7 frames. That's gonna be the wind up. So let's mark it and then move it. So this is where it's gonna be after 7 frames. So see how it's gonna slowly move. There we go, that's what we want. Bam. And then we want him to punch really fast, so we're just gonna space and click again, go a couple more frames, and it's gonna go right to his nose. And then you want, go ahead and keyframe that too. Go like 1 2 maybe frames, key mark it again, and then let's just go a whole bunch, and it's gonna come back. There we go. Bam. Stupid, but you know, you're getting the point. Now let's do it again. So now this is where it's going to be at this current keyframe. So let's go space. It's gonna pop right there. Oh, wrong way. And now it's gonna punch him again. So pop, pop, and then let's give him one final blow. So this is where it is right now. So let's have him really wind up for this one. So turn on rotation, and let's go about 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, about 10 frames, and have him slowly wind up. And then make sure you keyframe rotation. Let's have him spin the glove. So let's go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13, just guessing. And let's have him really wind up. So it's gonna spin twice, or actually 3 times exactly, and those 12 frames. So he's gonna spin, and then as he gets there, so you see how it's marked right there, it's blue, and that's 1 2 3 4 5. Just have him follow through. Bam. Go 1 or 2, and then back. So watch. See? Stupid. But now it's not very realistic. So as we're doing that, let's go to Logan Paul. So this one's Logan Paul's. So as you can see, as you're previewing it, the animation still works, even if you're not selected on that. So let's say when it gets to Logan Paul, we want him to, like, you know, move a little bit. So let's keyframe it right there. So that's where it's going to be. And that's where the contact hits. So let's move him back a little bit, like, ouchie. And then once the glove starts retracting, let's bring him back. And then, oh, it comes back. So right here, it's keyframe. And that's where contact hits. So let's go a frame or 2, and then have him go back. Go back a little bit further, so it looks like he's hitting harder. And once it starts retracting, go a couple frames and have him come back. And then this is the big one where you, right there, that's where he hits, and let's have him just fly off the screen. Bam. So look. I rewinded it really far. Hold on. See? Super stupid, but I hope you guys are starting to grasp it. I think that's, as a self-taught Adobe Premiere user, I think that is the best way I can explain it to you guys. Just keep rewatching this. If you have any more other questions that I didn't show in this video that's outside of keyframing, go check out my other videos, because they do, especially my first one, it just covers a large, broad, just amount of stuff you can do on Adobe. And I don't know, if you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. And like I said, in every other video, I can maybe, you know, reply and help you, or I can make an entire video on it. It just kind of depends on how big the problem is. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Check the description for a shout out. Wink, wink. And yeah, thank you guys.